Hello, my name is Victor Noid, and I am the product manager of the System Group. In this quick video, I would like to show you what we plan for infrastructure as code in the following months. Let me share my screen, and I will start with a quick walkthrough. So here's my screen, and this is our infrastructure as code viable epic. It's epic 1960. And basically what you can see here, it's already in priority order how we plan to ship the features to you to add them to GitLab. The first two issues here are more about preparatory issues where we get all the team up to speed and we are doing some UX research. In terms of UX research, we try to set up a user journey, and I will be happy to discuss this journey with you. What we have right now is already pretty complex. It involves the infrastructure teams, workflows, like setting up new infrastructure, managing Terraform modules and all the stuff, but it involves as well how a developer's code from a Git commit ends up into deployment through creating a Docker image, for example, or various ways. Then we have the issues themselves that from previous interviews came out to be interesting to hopefully many of you. We are focusing quite a lot here on Terraform, which based on interviews and analyst discussions is currently the de facto infrastructure as code provisioning tool. You might use Puppet Chef for configuration management, and some of you might use it even for infrastructure provisioning. We are not focusing on that at this point. It's specifically to Terraform and to infrastructure provisioning. For a while, I will skip the Terraform registry. I will get back to that soon. One of the first topics we would like to write down is actually GitLab recommended infrastructure flow setup. This will be something similar to what we have right now with Git, the GitLab flow itself, because we hear quite often users asking us what is the recommended way of setting up infrastructure as code inside of GitLab. Here we will try to describe a few setups that we think are useful and follow the industry best practices. And actually this will lead our development further in the future as well. If we see some missing pieces in this flow, those will be the places where we will focus our development efforts. After that, we already see some parts of this, of course, so the following items will remain for sure. One of the issues with Terraform, if you know Terraform, is that Terraform has a state file, which basically for Terraform itself describes what your state of the infrastructure is. It should be if nobody touched it by hand. As a result, when you change your Terraform code, before applying those changes, Terraform compares what your code expects to have to what your state currently has. And this difference is called the Terraform plan. When you make a change in Git, we have the merge request to review your changed files. But in case of Terraform, you actually would like to review your Terraform plans as well. This issue is about a solution to make this review easy, to push the output of the Terraform plan into the merge request, so developers can review the plan inside of the merge request. They don't need to use Slack or job logs or other ways to find the plan. Then we have the GitLab managed Terraform state. This basically would mean that we would like to make it super easy for you to start new Terraform projects with convention over configuration setup. GitLab would basically say that your state file is stored in this S3 or GCP bucket. It's encrypted, it's versioned, etc. And you don't have to enforce these logics, and it will be pretty clear and well documented for you. At the same time, actually, it helps us as well to build more integration around Terraform, because basically with a single click, you can get a Terraform run deployment using GitLab managed state. Then we would like to provide a Terraform module registry. This is this item number 3 here as well at the top. The difference between these two lines is that a community contribution started a few weeks ago at the same time when we were writing our own plan. Terraform modules, as you know, are the building blocks of a larger Terraform deployment. Currently, you can use Terraform modules with GitLab either by having those modules in the same project and just referencing them by the path, or you can use them with Git tags, Git references. Having a proper module registry will allow us to use versioning scheme and will allow us basically Semver-like versioning and make it much more flexible for you and much more easier to maintain your modules and especially the references to your modules. These are basically our top priorities for the coming months. The next one is the getting started. Terraform is more of a nice to have thing for companies who are just moving towards Terraform to make it easy to set up Terraform projects and get going with Terraform. Basically, these are our plans, and this is that I will go into more detail with you during our CAB meeting.